I am put on earth to make people laugh. My book is funny. I wear fur that was killed 15 years ago. I work for animal rights.
We've all had those moments when our patience runs thin, but imagine having your breaking point broadcast to millions. Welcome to Celebrities Losing It on Live TV, where we explore those raw, unscripted moments when the spotlight gets too hot, and the famous faces we think we know reveal a different side entirely. From heated arguments to storming off sets, these are the incidents that generated headlines, sparked controversies, and sometimes even redefined careers. Today, we're diving into one of the most memorable on-air confrontations in television history: Samuel L. Jackson, mistaken identity. Samuel L. Jackson's reaction when a news anchor mistakenly assumes he appeared in a Super Bowl commercial that actually featured Lawrence Fishburne. Jackson points out the error, telling the anchor, "We don't all look alike, and I'm not Lawrence Fishburne."
You're as crazy as the people on Twitter. Right. I'm not Lawrence Fishburne.
Jennifer Lawrence phone comment. Jennifer Lawrence, typically celebrated for her down-to-earth personality, created a divisive moment at the 2016 Golden Globes. When a journalist consulted his phone while questioning her,
how do you see yourself for the Oscars?
You can't live your whole life behind your phone, bro.
Huh?
You're just not gonna, we can't do that. You gotta live in the now.
Sorry.
Lawrence interrupted him mid-sentence. The reporter apologized repeatedly, but Lawrence had already made her point clear. When he attempted to continue his question, apparently struggling with English as his second language, Lawrence doubled down.
How do you see yourself for the Oscar night? And how was
We're at the Golden Globes. If you put your phone down, you'd know that.
The interaction quickly sparked debate online. Some viewers found her response refreshingly honest, while others considered it unnecessarily harsh towards someone potentially using translation assistance. Whatever one's take, the awkward exchange became a notable talking point from the event. Mel Gibson's uncomfortable silence. In a particularly volatile exchange, Mel Gibson became visibly agitated when interviewer Dean Richards broached the subject of his previous controversies.
Do you think that the public will perceive you any differently after all that's been in the news about you?
Gibson immediately challenged him.
What are you referring to specifically?
When Richards mentioned Gibson's drinking issues and alleged anti-Semitic remarks, the actor responded tersely.
You know, the drinking problems, referring to what's been called the anti-Semitic rant.
That's almost 4 years ago, dude. I mean, I've moved on. I guess you haven't.
Despite Gibson's clear discomfort, Richards persisted with the line of questioning, asking if the public had moved past these incidents. Gibson's patience visibly thinned as he stared intensely at Richards during an uncomfortable silence before finally responding.
Well, I certainly hope so. You know, it is a while back. And, you know, I've done all the necessary mea culpas. So let's move on, dude. Come on.
The interview concluded on an even more sour note when, as they signed off discussing Gibson's film Edge of Darkness, the actor muttered an expletive that was caught on air as the segment ended. Joan Rivers' interview walkout. What began as a tense exchange quickly escalated into one of Joan Rivers' most memorable television moments. The interview took a confrontational turn when the host characterized Rivers' comedic style as mean and questioned her choice to wear fur on her book cover.
To have some shock value to you. I mean, on the cover of your book, you're wearing a fur, and you knew that there would probably be animal rights.
Rivers immediately pushed back. This whole interview is becoming defensive. When the interviewer attempted to respond, Rivers cut in.
This whole interview is becoming a defensive interview.
No!
Are you wearing leather shoes?
Yes,
shut up.
I'm talking.
Rather than redirecting the conversation, the interviewer continued pressing about negative reactions at press conferences. This final provocation caused Rivers to reach her breaking point.
You know, I'm going. I really am going because all you have done is negative.
No!
All you have done is negative. I haven't heard net. I make people laugh for 50 years.
Her voice rising with each statement, Rivers delivered her parting shot.
I am put on earth to make people laugh. My book is funny. I wear fur that was killed 15 years ago. I work for animal rights.
With that, the comedy legend had made her exit, leaving a stunned silence in her wake.
You are not the one to interview a person who does humor. Sorry.
Are we serious?
Kanye West and Piers Morgan. A tense interview where Kanye West, now known as Ye, repeatedly interrupts Piers Morgan. The exchange grows increasingly heated as Kanye feels Morgan is trying to make him look like a crazy person and not letting him finish his thoughts. Eventually, Kanye abruptly ends the interview and walks out mid-conversation after Morgan attempts to ask a different question than what Kanye wanted to discuss. R. Kelly interview meltdown. R. Kelly's infamous emotional outburst during an interview discussing allegations against him. When questioned about relationships with underage individuals, Kelly becomes extremely agitated, stands up, pounds his chest, and shouts that he's fighting for his life. His publicist tries to calm him down without success. The transcript notes that Kelly is currently serving a 20-year prison sentence. Charlie Sheen's winning interview. No discussion of on-air celebrity meltdowns would be complete without Charlie Sheen's extraordinary television appearance following his dismissal from 2.5 Men. The interview quickly became a cultural phenomenon for its bizarre and concerning content. When the interviewer suggested his passion was coming across as erratic, Sheen responded with an unusual metaphor.
You borrow my brain for 5 seconds and just be like, dude, can't handle it. Unplug this bastard. Yeah, because it fires in a way that is, I don't know, maybe not from this particular terrestrial realm.
As concerns mounted about his psychological state, Sheen's responses only intensified public worry. When confronted with speculation about bipolar disorder, he appeared confused by the concept.
Wow, what does that mean?
I guess that, you're on two ends of the spectrum.
Wow. And then what? What's the cure? Medicine? Make me like them? Not gonna happen. I'm by winning. I win here and I win there. Now what?
He continued with a dismissive characterization of mental health struggles.
If I'm bipolar, aren't there moments where a guy crashes and in the corner oh my God, it's all my mom's fault? Shut up. Shut up. Stop. Move forward.
Perhaps most alarming was Sheen's casual discussion of his substance use. When asked about his last drug experience, he boasted.
I probably took more than anybody could survive,
What are we talking about? How much?
I don't know, man. I was banging 7-gram rocks and finishing them because that's how I roll. I have one speed, I have one gear. Go.
When questioned about surviving such dangerous consumption, Sheen delivered his now infamous line.
Because I'm me, I'm different. I just have a different constitution, I have a different brain, I have a different heart, I have a different, I get tiger blood, man.
The interviewer's concerned query about mortality risks was met with Sheen's dismissive quip. Dying? That's for fools. Birdman radio station confrontation. Hip-hop executive Birdman made headlines after bursting into a radio station studio, confronting hosts who had discussed him on air. Stop playing with my name, he demanded immediately, creating a chilling atmosphere. Particularly significant as rumors circulated he had allegedly ordered a hit on protege Lil Wayne. The tension escalated as Birdman explained his presence. I could have pulled up, but I don't think that was gangsta. I wanted to come look in your face like a man. After delivering his warning to put some respect on his name, he abruptly ended the confrontation, declaring, I ain't got no more talking, before storming out. Mike Tyson news interview. When a news anchor unexpectedly questioned Mike Tyson about his criminal history, the boxing legend's composure quickly unraveled on live television. What began as standard promotion rapidly deteriorated as Tyson grew visibly agitated by the line of questioning.
You know what I mean? And I don't have no comment to that, because it's negative and you're being negative.
Tension thickened with each exchange. Despite multiple attempts to redirect the conversation towards safer territory, Tyson's frustration only intensified. His responses grew increasingly hostile, creating an uncomfortable atmosphere that producers couldn't contain. When the host tried salvaging the segment by asking about comparative nerves between boxing and interviews, Tyson's disdain reached its peak. Recognizing the situation was beyond recovery, producers finally cut the segment short, hastily thanking Tyson for his appearance, while quickly transitioning away from the explosive exchange. Elon Musk on advertisers. During a high-profile interview, Elon Musk demonstrated his characteristic disregard for corporate diplomacy when confronted about advertisers abandoning his platform X, formerly Twitter. What might have been an opportunity for reconciliation instead became a headline-generating moment of defiance. When the interviewer raised concerns about major companies pulling their advertising dollars, Musk's response was anything but measured. Rather than offering reassurances or a strategic perspective, The tech billionaire delivered an unfiltered rebuke.
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go f yourself.
The statement captured Musk's confrontational leadership style, prioritizing personal autonomy over advertiser relationships that traditionally form the lifeblood of social media revenue. While some supporters celebrated his unwillingness to compromise, critics viewed the outburst as further evidence of business judgment being overshadowed by impulsivity in his management of the platform. Cara Delevingne's awkward morning show appearance. What began as a routine promotional interview quickly descended into an uncomfortable cultural clash when model-turned-actress Cara Delevingne appeared on Good Day Sacramento. The British star's dry humor proved incompatible with the morning show host's expectations of enthusiastic celebrity banter. You seemed a lot more excited about it a couple weeks ago on TV than you do right now. Are you just exhausted? The host asked pointedly.
Now, with that said, I saw you in London talking a couple weeks ago on TV, and you seemed a lot more excited about it than you do right now. Are you just exhausted?
Delevingne, maintaining her characteristically reserved demeanor, explained.
No, I mean, I'm still very excited. The premiere was last night. It was an emotional night. It felt like the end of an era, but I'm not any less excited than I was a couple of weeks ago. Maybe I had a bit more energy. It's the morning.
When the host suggested she seemed irritated, Delevingne responded with subtle sarcasm. Yeah, I think it's just you. After a few more strained exchanges, the hosts abruptly terminated the interview with thinly veiled hostility. We figured as much. We'll let you go, take a little nap, maybe get a Red Bull, they remarked dismissively. Once Delevingne was off air, the host continued criticizing her attitude, commenting, wow, she was in a mood. Emma Thompson Royal Family Questions. Oscar-winning actress Emma Thompson found herself increasingly irritated during an interview when questions repeatedly circled back to the British royal family. Despite clearly stating, I have nothing to say about it, really, the interviewer persisted with royal wedding inquiries. Thompson attempted to politely deflect multiple times, wishing the couple well while emphasizing her lack of personal connection to the royals. When the interviewer continued pressing, despite these boundaries, Thompson's patience finally evaporated. Stop it, just stop it, she commanded firmly. Stop doing the, ooh, let's talk about the royal wedding. Her direct rebuke immediately shifted the conversation's direction. Bee Gees walk-off. The legendary Bee Gees found themselves subjected to increasingly disrespectful treatment during what should have been a routine television appearance. As the interview progressed, the host delivered a series of thinly veiled insults directed at Barry, Robin, and Maurice Gibb. Before we became the Bee Gees, we were laters, Barry explained during the conversation. You'll always be laters to me, the interviewer responded dismissively before adding the deliberate jab. I didn't realize you were real brothers. You're sisters, actually. The tension visibly escalated with each barbed comment. After enduring several more unprofessional remarks, Barry Gibb had finally reached his limit.
In fact, I might just leave.
Yeah. Oh, I've never had anyone walk out before, but...
toss-up, pal.
He declared abruptly. Without hesitation, all three brothers stood and walked off set, leaving the stunned host to admit. Quentin Tarantino on movie violence. When confronted about the graphic content in his films, director Quentin Tarantino abandoned his typically playful demeanor for a forceful rebuttal. The interviewer suggested a connection between movie violence and real-world aggression, asking why Tarantino needed so much gruesome graphic violence. It's so much fun, Tarantino responded initially, before the conversation quickly intensified. When the interviewer implied his films might inspire violent behavior in viewers, Tarantino grew visibly frustrated. You're all messed up because you're talking about real life, and I'm talking about the movies, he countered sharply. Defending his artistic choices, Tarantino emphasized the audience's ability to distinguish fiction from reality. Kids at 12 can tell the difference. Maybe you couldn't when you were a kid, but I could. His passionate defense highlighted his unwavering commitment to artistic freedom. Ben Affleck versus Bill Maher on Islam. What began as a panel discussion on Bill Maher's show erupted into a heated ideological confrontation when Ben Affleck took strong exception to comments about Islam. The exchange quickly became one of television's most memorable philosophical clashes.
You're saying that Islamophobia is not a real thing, that if you're critical of something...
Well, it's not a real thing when we do it.
Right.
Affleck challenged, visibly agitated by the conversation's direction. When Maher defended his position, Affleck didn't hesitate. It's gross, it's racist.
No, it's not just ISIS. It's all jihadists. It's global. It's a phenomenon of global jihad.
I think that's the opposite.
As tensions escalated, author Sam Harris characterized Islam as the motherlode of bad ideas, further inflaming the debate. Affleck pushed back forcefully.
But Nick, or how about the more than 1 billion people who aren't fanatical, who don't punish women, who just want to go to the store,
wait a second.
Sandwiches,
Wait a
25 times a day,
Wait a second.
Neither side conceded ground, with Affleck explicitly stating, "I disagree with what you think," while Maher maintained his position on criticizing religious extremism. The intellectual standoff exemplified the challenges in discussing sensitive cultural and religious topics on television. The View hosts walk out on Bill O'Reilly. A discussion on The View turned explosive when political commentator Bill O'Reilly's remarks about a proposed mosque near Ground Zero crossed a line for two of the show's hosts. The conversation deteriorated rapidly as O'Reilly shared his perspective on the controversial project. O'Reilly argued before making a statement that sparked immediate outrage.
It's inappropriate because a lot of the 9/11 families, who I know, say, look,
Muslims killed us on September 11th, he declared, prompting Whoopi Goldberg's instant reaction.
Families who are Muslim who also died in that building.
That's one thing.
But you know,
Joy Behar echoed her colleague's indignation. I don't want to sit here now. Without further discussion, both Goldberg and Behar abruptly stood and walked off the set, leaving the remaining hosts to continue the heated exchange with O'Reilly. Gene Simmons, Marriage Trouble on Air. During a television appearance with Joy Behar, KISS co-founder Gene Simmons created an uncomfortable moment when asked about his health. "How's your back?" Behar inquired. Simmons responded with an inappropriate anatomical joke, saying his back was fine, but another body part wasn't. His wife Shannon, visibly mortified, immediately rose and walked off set. "It's so rude for you to joke about it," she admonished while leaving. As Simmons pleaded for her return, Behar attempted to deflect responsibility. "Don't blame me. This is all yours." Shannon remained off stage with Simmons lamenting, "I hope she's not done with me," while acknowledging his wife was justifiably upset. Gordon Ramsay Botox questions. Celebrity chef Gordon Ramsay's notorious temper flared during an interview when the conversation unexpectedly pivoted to his appearance. The tension escalated quickly when the interviewer persisted with questions about cosmetic procedures. "They were saying that you'd had Botox," the interviewer remarked, continuing a line of questioning that clearly irritated Ramsay. The chef, known for his direct communication style, initially attempted to redirect the conversation, noting he had risen at 6 a.m. for the interview. When the questions continued, Ramsay's patience evaporated. Leaning forward with characteristic intensity, Ramsay delivered his final response before walking off. "I mean, are you stupid?" The abrupt exit left the interviewer alone on set, their planned discussion completely derailed by the personal inquiry. Andrew Dice Clay news appearance. Controversial comedian Andrew Dice Clay demonstrated his trademark confrontational style when a news anchor introduced him as a former headliner. The characterization immediately triggered Clay's indignation. Clay interrupted forcefully, visibly irritated by the implication his career had peaked. The comedian then launched into an unfiltered critique of the station. "Jesus Christ with these guys. I come on the news for 2 seconds, and every time I do an interview, a guy wants to open his little... You know what?" His sudden outburst caught the anchor off guard, forcing an awkward transition as Clay refused to proceed with the standard promotional conversation they had planned. Chris Brown post-performance incident. During what should have been a standard album promotion, singer Chris Brown found himself increasingly frustrated when an interviewer repeatedly steered the conversation toward his 2009 assault case involving Rihanna. Brown attempted to redirect. "I mean, it's not really a big deal to me now. Today is the album day, so that's what I'm focusing on. Everybody go get that album." Despite this clear boundary, the interviewer pressed further. You can understand how some people, what you went through and what happened was very serious. Growing visibly tense, Brown insisted, I've been focusing on this album. This album is what I want people to talk about, not stuff that happened 2 years ago. Though Brown maintained composure on camera, his frustration reportedly exploded backstage. According to reports, he threw a cooler, broke a dressing room window, and ultimately left the building shirtless. Jordan Belfort, interview walkout. The real-life Wolf of Wall Street, Jordan Belfort, abruptly terminated an interview when questions about his finances struck a nerve. What began as a standard promotional conversation quickly deteriorated when the reporter raised allegations about Belfort's financial transparency. Belfort stated firmly, his demeanor shifting noticeably. When the interviewer pressed with a follow-up about potentially hiding income, Belfort's patience evaporated. As the reporter attempted to continue this line of questioning, Belfort completely shut down the exchange. I think the interview is going to start winding really quickly. We've been edited, he declared, visibly agitated. With that, the notorious former stockbroker had effectively ended the conversation. These unscripted moments reveal the real people behind the polished personas, reminders that even in the spotlight, emotions run deep and patience has limits. The Everett-Rome confrontation stands as a cautionary tale about the consequences of persistent provocation and the unpredictable nature of live television. Did this clip bring back memories? Maybe you remember watching it live when it happened? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown of celebrity meltdowns, don't forget to like this video, share it with friends who appreciate these unfiltered moments, and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into television's most unforgettable incidents. Hit that notification bell to stay updated on our weekly uploads exploring the real stories behind the headlines. Until next time, remember, in a world of carefully crafted images, it's the unscripted moments that often tell the truest stories.